So what have you kind of seen over the last few days in preparation that you feel like you guys can kind of flip what happened here when you play Kansas State?
I don't know about flipping what happened here. I think we got to kind of put that one behind and just kind of prepare ourselves to play better and try to build on some of the good things we've done recently. Obviously, both teams have kind of taken different paths to where we are, and they're competing for the league. So we got to understand what their mindset is coming into this game. They're in position with 5 games left to win the league, and they'll come in, you know, fighting really, really hard to maintain that position. So I honestly spent a lot of time on the road the last 2 days, but watching a lot of film, know that they're pretty much the same team. They got one less guy in terms of backup, Jada, but their main guys, Barry and Dean, are there, and they're going to be ready to go and give us a really tough challenge.
Mentioned in the past that no team's going to feel sorry for you guys being undermanned. They are a little banged up, though. They do have it, but they are a little banged up. I imagine the mindset's got to be the same for you guys.
I mean, banged up is kind of relative, to be honest. You know, I mean, their guys will be ready to play. Barry and Dean, Xavier Sneed, Kamal Stokes, all those 4,500 points or whatever, those guys will be ready to rock. So, really don't try to focus too much on what the other team doesn't have. I know what they do have is really, really good. They've been really good at home, and it'll be a great challenge. What we got to do is try to be the best version of ourselves for 40 minutes on Saturday, and hopefully that's good enough to bring home a win.
What has the energy been like among the guys since the victory against TCU?
Honestly, I don't know. I'll be honest. I haven't been around very much. I actually told them, the last thing I told them on Monday night was that we were off on Tuesday from practice, but that they needed to go to class, and then they didn't have to go to class even on Tuesday. So, been pretty comfortable couple of days for them. But they seem very focused. We had a good practice. I feel like the energy is where it needs to be. You know, this time of year is really challenging. The season becomes long. It starts to wear on guys mentally. And I feel good that our guys aren't in that boat, that they're really excited to still have an opportunity to play and continue to improve where we are right now.
In terms of that kind of mindset, how valuable are your 3 captains?
They're huge. You know, they went through it last year. Kind of made a push here toward the end of the season last year to finish with a good record, I would say. So they know what it takes. They've been through it the first 2 years of their career. They kind of made a push late. So I know from their experience, they know that there's a lot of basketball left to play, and anything can happen from here on out.
They've been through a lot in their time here. How do you sense them kind of managing that with what this year's brought as well?
You know, they really haven't been affected very much. Partly because I think they kind of, you know, nothing's more dramatic than maybe some of the things they went through early on in their career. And so, you know, just kind of another thing that comes up. You deal with it. You still do your job the same way. You show up and you watch film. You practice hard. You try to make sure you're as prepared as possible. And then on game day, you go and let it hang, so to speak.
Curtis has been kind of struggling from the three-point line. How do you feel him getting to the basket like he did on Saturdays kind of helped his confidence?
I just think it shows that he's more versatile than maybe sometimes he even gives himself credit for. He does have a pretty quick first step. He's really athletic. He can get to the basket. And he can play above the rim for a guy his size, which is always good because it's less likely to get your shot blocked when you can play it above the rim. So just seeing him not rely on it, he still shoots a lot of them, and we want him to because we know it's just a matter of time before he busts out and has a 5-made three-point game. Maybe that's Saturday, maybe it's not, but I want him to continue to have confidence in his ability to be a good basketball player, whether his shots are going or not.
Were you surprised that Thomas got to the basket a couple times on Monday night?
Yeah, I was. It's not really his thing, you know. That guy's a three-point shooter, and the three-point shooter almost predominantly, if you look at his numbers over the course of his career. But he's always wanting to prove that he can develop other areas of his game. I wish his free throws would step up, to be perfectly honest. He struggled from the free throw line a little bit more than I expected this year. But I love him. I love the attitude he brings, the energy he brings every day, and like to see him play with the type of confidence that he's had the last couple games.
I know you had said that Cam wasn't 100%. How has he been doing strength-wise in practice?
I mean, he's fine. I wasn't trying to make it like he's unusually hurt.
Right.
He's got some nagging things like everybody else pretty much does this time of year. But he's also, most of the time, playing against much bigger guys. He's asked to rebound at a really high level. He's done that really, really well for us this year. And so he takes a little bit more physical toll on his body than maybe some of the guys on the perimeter. But he's a warrior. He'll be ready to play on Saturday. But if he's not, we'll just plug somebody else in there and figure it out. We got really good at this adding people to the roster thing. We got another one, J.K. Headlock, today, and excited to have him join us as well.
Is he another one who came to the open tryouts?
Yeah, he's been with us. You know, he had some had to appeal something on his GPA, was just maybe like a percentage point off of being eligible. Just a compliance issue, not to bore with details, but nothing major.
You guys follow the Kansas State game with the game in Lubbock. Is there a harder road trip in the Big 12 this year?
I mean, again, I try not to get too far ahead in terms of, but I look and see. We play the top 4 teams in the league the next 4 games, and that's a reality that we have to prepare for. But understanding that the only game that we can affect on Saturday is the one in Manhattan, so that's what we'll do.
Do you feel like your players are doing a good job of that, of focusing on the next one?
Yeah, I don't think that's been an issue for our guys at all at any point this season. They've been pretty. They don't have large attention spans. I don't know if they looked at the schedule, much less than knowing what exactly is up against them. Other than the next game, we'll get on the bus and drive up to Manhattan tomorrow and try to prepare ourselves to play against the team that's leading the league right now.
So you guys are going to bus there?
Yeah, it's a pretty quick trip. It's a weekend, early enough game. We'll get back. You know, it won't be too late Saturday. Likely to be off on Sunday, and just kind of go from there.